So those of you that have been subscribed to this channel for a while will know that we love driving simulators, and Assetto Corsa is one of the leading driving simulators currently in development. Now it's still in beta, yet to be version 1.0, but they added multiplayer to it recently and it's fantastic fun to play online. So for this video, we're just going to jump in and test the online experience just to see what it's like going from the menu to online and how convenient it is, because those of you familiar with driving simulators are very familiar with the whole farting around trying to get into an online race. And one of the things that stands out with this Assetto Corsa is, at this point in time at least, you can generally just jump in and drive, which is fantastic. Now first of all, I'm going to have to turn down my graphics settings because I am recording this video, and even though shadow play is awesome, it does slow down the system, and when you get to 20 cars on a grid you start getting a little bit of stutter, which isn't enjoyable when you're concentrating on driving. Let's turn the AA down, turn shadow. AA and shadow resolution tend to be the biggest frame rate hogs with least amount of graphical impact. Obviously anti-aliasing makes everything, gets rid of jagged lines, so you do want anti-aliasing, and obviously shadows look a bit wonky when they're not on high quality because you end up with jagged shadows and they're not crisp or they're not smoothed out. So there are things you want to turn up, but if you prepare to sacrifice them, you can generally have the game look almost the same and have it run a lot faster just by turning shadows and anti-aliasing down. I'm going to keep everything else on high. Reflections as well is another good one to save on speed. To keep your computer running fast at minimum visual cost. That'll do. Reflections, okay. Keep it. So that's on low. That's on high. Okay, we're good. We're good to go. Online racing. Here we go. So, start the clock. Let's see how long it takes to get into an online race with people. Now, Assetto Corsa uses this really weird booking system where you can't just jump into a server. You have to book, and there's like a 2 or 3 minute period, or it can be as long as the server host wants it, that you can book onto a server that you queue on, as if it's almost the same as Counter-Strike, if you were sort of queuing for a matchmaking, or like Dota 2, queuing for a game. And you have to join into that queuing session and then you join into the session. You can't join in an active session, although they might add that in the future. So, nonetheless, I'll go over the settings actually used for. I found if you want to just get into a game straight away, it's good to have booking highlighted, show, and you don't want to show. Let's see what's on. Include empty servers, you want that, but you don't want full servers on the list, and you don't want to include passworded, so then that should just show servers that I can join right away. And generally you want to join a server where the ping is at least below 50 milliseconds, otherwise it's going to be a bit haphazard with people warping. Now, BMW Z4 GT3, nice easy car, 1 minute booking, 15 minute quali and 15 practice and 8 lap race. Well, I don't want to do that, I just want to race straight away, so let's try and find one here now. If you look at here, there's booking, practice, quali and race. So if it's just got booking and race like this, you know it's just going to be a race on its own. Well, I don't mind doing a qualifying and race as long as it's not too long, because for this video I just want to jump in and race. Here we go, Silverstone. 5 laps. They put a bunch of cars on, but no one has joined up yet, so it's probably not the best. 15-minute qualifying, 2 people in it, not good enough. Let's give things a refresh. Now, at this point in time, they are adding more options. I think Kunos tweeted that they are starting to add, I think they're adding more filters, and they're going to add the ability to kick, and it'll have auto kick and features like that, which will be nice and should improve on the quality of racing on a lot of the servers. I don't want to do drifting, because it'd be really nice to just have a filter now for me to filter booking and race. Here we go, 4 laps race, just get straight in with a car. Let's see if anyone joins. So I've requested a booking. I've got to wait 2 minutes. Now this clock and that clock doesn't line up. all the time, and so sometimes you have to refresh. That other people are jumping in, so hopefully we can get enough people. And it'll have only been a couple of minutes, and I'll be racing people, and hopefully they're at a basic skill level to keep it entertaining. Now this is obviously the point where you can make a cup of tea, you can drink a beer, you could do a jigsaw puzzle, paint a painting. The options are almost endless. Ah, there we go. He's seen what car I've picked, and he's picked the same car. Because ideally, you want everyone in the same car, so we're all close. Some of these cars are quite... Well, they're all GT cars, but I'm not sure which would be the fastest. I should know, but I don't. Presume this BMW is pretty decent, and I would have thought the Pagani Zonda are as well. I guess they're all they're sort of GT cars ish. So we get people jumping in. It's pretty decent. I'd say you need about 8 or 9 people for an alright race, and generally, if you're just doing public online racing, it's normally about 15 people, and at that 15, you'll find that there's 3 or so people that are really good. Some people, 2 or 3 people that average, then the rest will be absolutely terrible. But as long as you've got 3 people that are within, say, a second or so of track pace, then you'll get a really interesting race, and that's all that's required for a good online race. Here we go. 1 minute booking apparently, but everyone's piling in. This is going to be an absolute turbo beast, 4-lap race. And this is what I love about Assetto Corsa, is just jumping into a server and just doing a quick race. I'm sure the league race will be really good with it as well, and it certainly has problems. Its booking system isn't perfect. The netcode's still not perfect. But for when you don't want to do a league race, and for those of you that don't know, a lot of people run, they're almost like clans in other games, they run events, and then there'll be weekly events every Saturday or Sunday, and then the whole same group of people will do a race, and they all go meet up and do it. But that requires a lot of planning, and it requires you to be able to guarantee that you can race at a certain time, which is fantastic. It's probably the best way to get, it's the only way to get really good racing. You've got iRacing as well, offers a similar thing, and it's more pickup. But if you just want to jump in and do a quick 3-4 lap race on a nice track with some nice cars, at the moment there hasn't been anything really offering that, and Assetto Corsa as it is now seems to offer that, which is fantastic. Also worth looking at is race room racing experience, because they're starting to add multiplayer to that, and I've got a feeling that's going to be something where it will allow good jumping racing. Okay, here we go. This should be interesting. I don't know if this car uses shifters or a gearbox. I've turned the in-game steering wheel off because I like to pretend that my G25 is the real wheel. And if you turn the in-game on off, it kind of fools your brain into thinking that your wheel is the real wheel. Let's hope that it uses shifters. Yes, it does. I'm not sure why I started at the front of the grid. He's got a really nice skin on his car. The game comes with a whole bunch of car skins. Some of them though look really fantastic, and you can make your own custom car skins, which is also awesome. Yeah, this guy seems to be on pace through here. I'm a bit slow. One of the things with the Assetto Corsa that's really nice, if you've got a force feedback steering wheel, it has really nice subtle force feedback, letting you really feel what the car's doing. And you can really feel the road texture through the steering wheel, the brakes locking up if you're understeering or oversteering. Oh, he's lost control there. Oops, trying to avoid him. He goes sideways and he takes out half the grid. Now, if I'm ahead for more than a lap, I'm just going to slow down. Oh, totally missed the braking point there. a lot of people think Assetto Corsa is overly forgiving with its grip, and there is a lot of controllability, and it is quite hard to spin the cars. But in many ways, that makes it a lot harder to get a fast lap, because more people will be driving full laps and not spinning and crashing. And it's basically, it just comes down to a mastery of balancing the car at the limit, rather than a mastery of just keeping the car on the road. This track, Imola, of course, famous for taking multiple real-world race drivers' lives, is a really nice track. One of my favourites, as I've said many times before. It's just got loads of really interesting corners and loads of opportunities to absolutely ruin your lap. But it's a really good track for forcing you. Oops, that's a too drift. Really good track for forcing you to learn how to handle a car on the limit in loads of different situations. Normally you can, if you bind look left and right, if you push both buttons on your steering wheel, it'll look behind you. But I've banned my left button on my G25, which only has 2 look buttons, to be chat in voice chat. So I can only look left at the moment and then rely on my rear view mirror. Secretly rating for the Oculus Rift DK2, which I think will be absolutely stunning in this game. Right, I'm going to slow down and let these guys catch up, so it's more interesting and we get to watch them. We get to see the netcode in action. Let's slow down here off the racing line. Whoops, that's a go in the grass. I don't know where the rest of the grid is. Let's try and catch this guy then. He's got 154 ping. Now, you can see him warping a little bit. One of the things I've noticed in the time that I've spent on AC multiplayer at the moment, if people's pings go above 130, then they really start warping around a bit. Ideally, I've found if they're below 80, then it looks as if they were like an AI and you were playing locally, and it's hard to really tell that you would be racing online with them. So I don't know if Kunos, the developer of Assetto Corsa, will be able to improve the smoothing to make it, to make it more, to make it look nicer when people have higher pings, or if it's just going to be a case that people will have to kick people that have pings that are too high, or servers have a limitation on the maximum ping that they allow you to join with. This guy's really slow through there. I'm sure those of you that play first-person shooters, I mean, can you imagine playing Counter-Strike Go, and maybe you have played it, with a ping above, well, even 100. I know in Counter-Strike, if you play it with a ping above 90, it's just horrible. Like you'll get a headshot, and you'll notice there's a noticeable delay between when you actually shoot the person and they die. And so driving simulators, which are obviously different in terms of the player interaction, but you really are dependent on the cars being in very precise positions on the track, especially if you're side-by-side racing on the limit round a corner. Really, it's amazing that you see in iRacing, R Factor 2, GTR Evo, R Factor 1, people racing with 100 plus pings, and actually things working for the most part. Oh, it's the last lap. I better try and I'll try and make a move on this guy as soon as I let him go past. But it's the thing, because his ping's so high and he's warping, it makes it unduly hard to get an overtake. Oops. Unconventional line. If I go up the inside here. Oh no. It's this thing with racing, it's really nice trying to, in Assetto Corsa, there's so much depth to the grip level. Oh, I don't want to rear end him. to the grip levels that oh, there's another guy pushing on me. There's so much depth that there's loads of opportunities to make moves on people. I mean, granted, these guys are really slow, but if you're playing with like similar skill level people, I've noticed in Assetto Corsa you have really interesting and dynamic battles with people balancing the car on the limit. As he's done that too slow, I should be able to get him get him down the hill. He's braking a lot earlier than me, or a lot earlier than you need to. So try and put it down the outside of him. Oh! There's another guy to the right. Oh, he's just barged into me. Won't be having any of that. I was on the grass there, but to be fair, everyone's trying to win the race. That was really good fun. Just literally just jumping straight in. There wasn't anyone really griefing. I was driving really slow, the other people were driving slow. But, I mean, you can't really complain. Just load up AC and within 5 minutes doing a quick 4-lap race, which for me is ideal to fill that gap between if you wanted to do a full-length race in a league, or if you were going to do a sort of 25 lap race with proper quali in iRacing or something like that. So yeah, that's the multiplayer in Assetto Corsa for the most part. You can jump in, do some quick racing. Kunos is still developing the game, it's still in beta, so there's going to be loads of changes. Don't judge the entire game on this one video. Make sure you check out all the other driving simulators. Let's go through them. iRacing, rFactor 2, Race Room Racing Experience, Project Cars, Game Stock Car Extreme. Make sure you buy that. It's an absolute bargain, especially if you race with AI. And I've probably missed others, which people can type in the comments. I'm going to do more driving simulator videos because that's my heritage, and we love driving simulators and simulators in general. More people need to play them. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click the giant subscribe button. If you want to watch a previous video, there's a big button on the screen there which you can click to watch it. Just remember to make a cup of tea before you drive into people online.